Okay, class, settle in. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to get started here. My name is Professor Inspector. All right. Now, today I'm teaching you all about artificial intelligence. All right. Hey, Bobby, sit down, man. What are you doing? But LaRonda, put the phone away, will you? Come on. Now, we're going to be taking a look at this OBSBOT Tiny webcam. All right. It's pretty cool. Everybody just got to listen up right now. All right. Listen up. Okay. It's a pretty unique piece of technology. Now, as you can see, this webcam is able to track a subject. Okay. See that? Isn't that cool? And it also allows you to zoom in using hand gestures and zoom out using those hand gestures. And you can also lock the subject tracking, just like so. And we can reacquire the subject, just like so. All right, everybody, so pay attention. We're going to get into more details coming up next.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
No, it's Gadget Inspector.
Okay, so first things first, I think we can agree that the webcam actually works. The subject tracking works pretty flawlessly, in my opinion. I didn't see it lose me at all, and I'm going to show you a clip in a second or in a few moments of where I leave the room, come back into the room, and it picks me right back up. Now, I did notice that sometimes if the background isn't contrasted enough, that it won't pick up my hand gestures. But for the most part, like I said, I can't complain at all with how this is functioning. Based on what it's supposed to do, I would say it does it pretty darn well. Okay, now I'm going to give you a few specs, just a few things that I think are important, some of the more notable things. So first off, resolution and frame rate. So the webcam films at 1080p, 30 frames per second. That's the highest resolution and frame rate. And there's some lower options that you can select. I'm not sure why you would, but you can. The zoom is 2x zoom. So it'll zoom in 2 times. And the field of view is 90 degrees. And this is probably the widest webcam I have used ever. It's really, really wide. And the other thing to note is that the webcam rotates up to 180 degrees. So it can almost turn all the way around and face directly behind it. Almost, not quite. But the point is, you shouldn't have any problem with the range of motion. Now, the other thing to note too is sometimes when I put my hands up like this, the webcam will pick it up. And the way you know that it's picking up your hand gestures is that the indicator light on the front will change from green to blue. And I'll put up on the screen what all of the indicator light variations mean from the, I believe it's in the instructions manual. But yeah, sometimes when I talk with my hands and stuff, sometimes it'll pick that up, but it doesn't affect anything unless you kind of hold those 2 gestures that you can do, which are an L shape, which you saw in the opening, and an open hand. So the L shape is for zooming in and out, and the open hand or the palm is to start or stop the subject tracking. Now the webcam also has dual mics for recording audio, and I'll drop this out here in a second and let you actually hear the audio from the webcam. I'm using my Audio-Technica AT2020 right now, which I always recommend pairing a good webcam with a good microphone. I actually did a video on a really budget-friendly USB plug-and-play microphone that sounds fantastic. So I'll put a card up. I believe it will be up here. So check it out if you're interested. And the webcam actually feels really solidly built, and it has a 2-axis gimbal, so it pans up and down, left and right, so that it can track you if you're going left and right like this, or even up and down. So you can see that, right? It's uncanny, man. This thing, it really works. So the webcam can be powered, the traditional way via USB. It actually uses USB Type-C, but it also can be powered using a DC power plug. So that opens up other options for where you can mount this thing. So you don't necessarily have to keep it on your PC or near your PC. You can take this thing out and plug it in and it'll start working for you. It also has a 1/4-20 thread on the bottom, so you can mount it to a tripod. It actually comes with a tripod mount adapter as well, so I think that's pretty cool. And again, you just pair that with the ability to power it via DC power plug. Okay, so you can plug it right in the wall and power this webcam. Okay, so outside of the subject tracking that this webcam can do, the most important feature is image quality, right? So take a look. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Now, I haven't done so yet, but my litmus test is always to compare webcams to the Logitech C920, because for me, it's still the gold standard. It's still my go-to webcam. Now, the OBS Tiny is probably going to take that position, but I'm gonna do another video where I compare the image quality from the OBSBOT Tiny and the Logitech C920, and we'll see which one comes out on top, and that'll help me make my decision. But from what I see, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased at how my skin looks. Skin tones look good. White balance looks really good. It's nice and sharp. I mean, I totally would use this webcam to produce videos on YouTube if I'm doing a live stream or something like that. And definitely if I'm on a Zoom call or a webinar or something like that. Absolutely comfortable with the quality of the image. Okay, sound quality. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to drop out the Audio-Technica AT2020. I'm going to drop it out right now. And now what you're hearing is audio from the OBSBOT Tiny webcam. Once again, it has dual microphones, which are noise canceling, according to the what it says in the advertising. But yeah, so I'm sitting about, we'll call it about 16 inches or so, say about 1.5 feet away from the webcam, so you can hear how the audio sounds. And I'll also give you a quick clip of the intro where I was, teaching the class. I'll let you hear how the audio sounds when I was that distance away as well. So you can make up your own mind what you think about the audio, but I think it sounds pretty good for a webcam. Probably the best I've heard out of any webcam I've tested so far. Okay, class, settle in. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to get started here. My name is Professor Inspector. All right. Now today I'm teaching you all about artificial intelligence. All right. Now the OBSBOT Tiny webcam is priced at $199 out on Amazon. So that is on the higher end in terms of cost for webcam, but considering what you're getting with the subject tracking, if that's something that you would find useful, you can see for yourself that it does do what it's advertised to do. Speaking of which, so who is this webcam for? Like I said, if you're a teacher and you're doing remote or virtual teaching through Zoom or through some other method, this is perfect because you can move around, you can stand up, you can get up, you don't have to stay stationary at a desk somewhere. So you can make things a little bit more dynamic, maybe a little bit more interactive. And it's also for anyone giving a presentation virtually that does not want to remain stationary. And then in general, anyone that needs to move around and doesn't want to be stationary while streaming or on a Zoom call or something like that, this is a great option for you. I don't think I've seen anything else like it on the market. So hey, check it out if you're interested. Okay, I'm going to give you a few more observations. Now, I have noticed that the webcam does get warm to the touch, but I wouldn't say that it gets super, super hot, but I do want to make note of that. It does get warm when you touch it, okay? The other thing to note is the webcam does sit up taller on your monitor than most webcams, just because of the form factor. So if you don't have another monitor on top of it, that shouldn't be a problem for you, but just take note of that. And the other thing I want to note is I fly drones, and there's similar technology on the advanced drones like those from DJI and Parrot, where you can track a subject. And I have to say, this works as good as that technology on drones, if not better. Okay, one more thing I want to show you before we get out of here. Now, I highly recommend that you go out to the OBSBOT website and download the software. The software is called OBSBOT Tiny, and it's good for two reasons. First off is you will gain access to firmware updates. So anytime there's a firmware update, you will be able to download it to keep your webcam up to date. The other thing is you gain access to manual video controls. So you can see you can make some changes to the settings. All right. Let's see, another couple of things to point out here. You can preset the position of the webcam. So if you want it to look off in a certain direction, you can turn that setting on to be able to do that. And you can also turn gesture control on and off. So if you're like me and you talk with your hands a lot, and you might activate zoom or subject tracking when you didn't mean to, you can just turn that off. So you can see that there. And then another cool thing you can do is you can manually control the camera. So you can zoom in and out, and you can also control the gimbal, just like so. Up and down, see that? And then we can go ahead and reset that to center it. So take the 5 minutes or so, download it, and gain access to all these additional features. Okay, everybody, I hope you found the video helpful. Man, if you're into drones and gadgets, you're in the right place. Consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell. That way you'll know when I upload new videos. If you like the video, you already know what to do. And if you know of anyone that you think might benefit from this or might be interested in this webcam, share it with them. And until next time, be good to somebody, be good to yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Later. Oh, class dismissed.